Most of you already know Phoenix just got hit with those reworks, and some people weren't even sure if they were going to be a buff. I was leaning towards them being buff, and after some time has passed, I can 100% say that Phoenix is such a good agent now. He's actually one of the best if you want to solo queue duelist your way up the ranks. And honestly, don't just take my word for it, because that isn't enough. It simply isn't enough. Instead, a lot of the gameplay you're watching here, a majority of the gameplay in the background, is from a Radiant player who has been grinding Phoenix. And just look at this picture right here. He is on a straight win streak. I know he's currently immortal, it was because of the reset, but he's climbing his way back up to Radiant, and it is clearly working out extremely well. Now, when it comes to Phoenix's changes, it's mainly, of course, to do with that wall. The rework to his wall has changed his capabilities immensely, and then, of course, the minor reworks around it, like allowing him to pass through and continuously heal, allows him to be more versatile. Now, let me explain. What me and the Radiant were basically discussing is that now he's able to take spaces a lot more effectively. The biggest thing here is about isolation and holding map control. For example, previously you would have to jump peek in order to really get that wall out on Phoenix, and that would always give up your location immediately, but now you can retake without peeking long angles, allowing you to reduce the risk of actually getting shot and killed. His reliability shot up a ton. The wall buff, again, is the best thing that they added to Phoenix. And the big tip here is a tip that any Phoenix main would give you from before, which utilize the wall and flash together because they are meant to be together. And to make sure to save your mollies for whenever you know someone is in a corner but can't shoot. Instead of using those mollies for heals, unless you absolutely have to, or trying to get kills with those mollies, it's about utilizing those mollies alongside the new wall buff to isolate angles and take more map control. Scaling up is the name of the game when it comes to Phoenix, right? So either learning molly lineups to be able to clear corners preemptively, or of course, if you know someone's there, to throw the mollies to clear corners and force a peek that is advantageous to you. Furthermore, his scaling is better rewarded. For example, if we were to take Bind, if you were scaling up Shower by throwing the molly in one corner to force a peek, getting a pick, and then being able to throw out the wall through the Shower's wall to execute on site alongside a flash, and then find another kill, let's say on Heaven, you will then have another flash reset, which is his second big buff. Phoenix's flash is the one thing that even when not very many people were playing him, or he was considered B tier, people did praise, right? That flash is fast, it's pretty easy to use, you're very unlikely to mess it up, and it's versatile. You can throw it over, you can throw it behind you, you could bounce it off the wall. You can do so many things with that flash to set yourself up for success. And learning a variety of flashes is so important. Flashing behind you for much quicker peaks is important. Flashing further from the angles so that the enemy has less time to react is important. You could learn to bounce it off the wall up close. It's situational, but you can. Learning to flash low, so it comes very low or very high, depending on what you're pushing out of. For example, if you're pushing out of an Omen smoke and you flash up high over it, there's very little chance they're going to react to it quick enough, and they just won't see it coming. So that flash has always been praised. It's very easy to use. A lot of things you can do to master it, and now you can get more of them per round, starting with 2 and then able to reset to refill, which is fantastic. But the truth is, you won't be pulling off any flashes or anything that takes mechanical skill if you have high ping. And that's where today's sponsor steps in. Having bad ping is literally the end of your Valorant career. It's GG well played if you're having ping spikes. Luckily, the sponsor of today's video, Exit Lag, can help you out easy peasy. You can browse their website, choose from a host of different plans. Bundling gets you even bigger discounts, but you make an account, hit that download button, open that .exe, and you're straight into the software. And just like that, you have AI route optimization, dynamic stabilizers, and even diagnostic centers. And while those complexities help the program perform efficiently, luckily it's very simple to use. You can see there is a host of games that are compatible, but you can search. So I'm gonna search Valorant. I'm gonna go ahead and click, and I'm even gonna let everything be automatic. But before we do that, here's my ping, 30 ping. It's still pretty good. I'm lucky, I have good internet, but we're gonna hit the automatic choice. I'm gonna choose the region, North America for me, and I'm gonna start letting it do its thing. It's gonna route, it's gonna do everything all on its own. And once I'm happy to it, I just hit apply route, and we're gonna go ahead and reboot the game through Exit Lag. You can see it's rebooted, and now I've dropped 8 ping down to 22. Try out Exit Lag just to see if it it works for you, no harm in giving it a go. But best of all, you can actually try it out using my promo code, my affiliate link down below. You get a discount for doing so. You can see the price transform right here. So win-win for everyone. So one last time, thanks to Exit Like for sponsoring today's video, and check them out using the link below. And what made Phoenix so good, why this is one of the best buffs that Riot has done to an agent, is because they took what made Phoenix very strong and just made it better. Praised for the best flash, let him reset that flash so he gets more of them. But wasting your wall to heal because you have to stay near it, or limiting your mobility due to that, okay, let the player pass through and continue to heal, opening up his mobility and keeping him, again, even more versatile. The wall is hard to execute because you have to be risky, but it still is versatile and good. Let's make it even more versatile and less risky by simply letting it pass through walls. They took what made Phoenix strong and just improved them tenfold, which is amazing because the quality, the way it actually feels to play Phoenix has been improved by that. Because the fluidity of an agent is extremely important, and a lot of times Riot can miss the mark when it comes to buffing an agent. For example, straight up making ISO shield super powerful not only broke the game, but it's not like it increased his fluidity whatsoever. It wasn't the absolute buff towards the shield, but the change that allowed him to start with the shield by using the ability, right? That key change let him start with the shield instead of having to get a kill first, made it much more fluid to play ISO, but then they obviously overtuned how strong it was by how long it lasted, etc. And that's the key difference. Fluidity and strength go hand in hand, but they can be tuned separately. And here I think they actually did really good. They made Phoenix stronger by increasing the fluidity, which allowed him to be more versatile and unpredictable, which is just such a key thing for a duelist. It means every time you push or different situations you're in, you're able to react and play differently. And honestly, the best thing I'm hoping for is that you can see it within the Radiant or / Immortals gameplay in all the background footage. The reason I didn't just only play my own deathmatch or just do my own gameplay is because it really wouldn't do justice. I did want to yap about Phoenix in a video, but I couldn't do so in good conscience without at least showing you what's possible. And of course, at least getting some second opinions from the higher rank. But to be honest, there are some other changes too that are coming. For example, the Neon nerf that is going to be coming in patch 9.11, for example, takes down another duelist, allowing Phoenix to shine more. Concuss is now affecting Neon and Jet more, the Sage Orb affecting both of them more as well. The overall reduction in movement agents allow Phoenix to step up as well. And that's for the simple reason that because the movement agents are being nerfed, it means that Riot is going towards the direction where it's less about teleporting onto the site. I know there's still Yoru, but metaphorically just dashing straight onto the site, and more about taking control, and they're proving it in patch 9.10 following patch 9.11. And that's not touching the fact that Phoenix's ult is still only 6 orbs and heals everything back. It still reverts everything out. So if you had full shield and health, you don't lose that shield, of course. This counts with the new regen shield, by the way. If you walk in full regen shield, you can use it. Everything happens, you die, it reverts back. It's amazing. The Phantom getting a direct buff does help Phoenix because as you're scaling and pushing up a lot close angles, I know this is map dependent, I'm not stupid, this is map dependent, but the Phantom buff can definitely help in executes such as bind when you're the one scaling up and fighting medium to close range. And again, it's that buff, it's the fact that Phantom can now one tap at that medium range that really makes that big difference. With that being said, if we were to recap, the only thing is the molly can't be refreshed, but it is definitely worth the trade-off. You can still line up for post plant, you can heal, you can flush corners, it still has all its versatility. You have 2 flashes right from the get-go, but you can refresh more, making it even stronger, and it was already one of the best flashes in the game. You've got a wall that had all its previous strengths heightened, so you can use it even more effectively to block vision, scale with your team, scale yourself, get the heal even when not connected. And of course, you've got that selfish ultimate that allows you to scale risk-free, take those gunfights, find a pick, and reset back to full. I genuinely believe Phoenix is top tier, now one of the best duelists in the game. We've got some stats. Some are saying that he's S tier. I would give it some more time, but definitely A or S tier. And it's important to note that between patch 9.09 and 9.10, he has trended upwards overall. He has a little bit of a higher win rate. He has a higher damage per round and a higher pick rate, obviously, and a more positive KDA. I don't know if that's just coming from, you know, people playing him more, but he's positively trending now with a single patch. That's the effects of a single patch. But let me know what you think about Phoenix. Do you think he's too strong? Are you annoyed? As a Phoenix main, do you feel rejoiced that he is a lot more effective? Let me know down below.